Welcome to topic 1.6. In this video, we are going to learn how to translate verbal mathematical expressions into expressions that you can write on paper, like equations and other things. So before we get into some examples, let's take a look at some things that we're going to see, or at some definitions. So the word sum means addition, difference means subtraction, product means multiplication, quotient means division, raised to means an exponent or power, and the word is means equal to. So an example number 1, or example type 1, we're going to be given verbal expressions, and we're going to have to translate these verbal expressions and then evaluate the value, or find the actual value of these expressions. So for example 1, we have the sum of 5 and 7. And recall, since sum means addition, this is going to be 5 plus 7. And 5 plus 7 just equals 13. Or, sorry, 12. All right, for example number 2, we have the difference of 17 and 16. So recall, difference means subtraction. So we're going to do 17 minus 16. And 17 minus 16, that just evaluates to 1. Example number 3, we have the quotient of 16 and 4. So looking at our definitions, quotient means division. So what we're going to do is do 16 divided by 4. 16 divided by 4, that just equals 4. Now for example number 4, we have something that's a little bit more wordy, but let's go through it. So we have the product of 5 and 3 is the sum of 5 and 8. Let's break it down. So we have the product of 5 and 3. Product means multiplication. So we have 5 times 3 is, and recall, is means equals to. So 5 times 3 is equal to, or is, the sum of 5 and 7. Recall, sum means addition. So we're going to do equals 7 plus 8. Now let's evaluate this, both sides of this equation. So we have 5 times 3, that's 15. And 7 plus 8 is also 15. So this is indeed true. The product of 5 and 3 is the sum of 7 and 8. Looking at example number 5, I encourage you to pause the video and try this one on your own. And assuming you have given it a go, let's work through it. So we have 4 to the power of 2 is the product of 4 and 4. So 4 to the power of 2 is, that means equals, and product means multiplication. So we're going to do 4 times 4. Simplifying this out, well, 4 squared, we know that's just 16, and 4 times 4 is also 16. Now, looking at example type 2, and these problems, we're just going to be translating these verbal expressions into expressions that we can see on paper. So 23 decreased by x. Well, that means we're going to take the value of 23 and decrease that value, or subtract it by whatever x happens to be. Looking at example number 2, I encourage you to pause the video and try this one on your own. And now let's work through it together. So the quotient of t and 8 is 8. So quotient, recall, that means division, and is means equals. So the quotient of t and 8, so we have t divided by 8, is 8. And that's our answer. Looking at example number 3, we have, I encourage you to actually pause the video and just try all these 4 examples on your own. And assuming you have given it a go, let's work through all these examples. So for example number 3, we have n times 8 is equal to 19. Well, n times 8, that's n times 8, is equal to 19. And that's it for this one. Example number 4, we have the 8th power of n is equal to 19. So because we have the 8th power of n, we're going to have n to the 8th power because we're talking about it of n. And that is equal to 19. And for example number 5, we have z cubed is equal to 45. Well, anytime you see the word cubed, that means raised to the 3rd power. So z cubed is going to be z to the 3rd power equals 45. Looking at example number 6, we have 1 less than w is equal to 2. This example can be a little bit confusing for some people, but let's work through it. So 1 less than w, what does that mean? How are we going to translate that into something like this? Well, if we're going to have 1 less than whatever w happens to be, we're going to have to subtract 1 from w. And then for the last part, we have is equal to 2. So we're going to say that's equal to 2. And that's it. Alrighty.